island of Guadeloupe, the French plantation of St. Anne's. People quietly sleeping, few guards patrol, everything is quiet. Close by, the tide breaks upon the shingle beach of the bay. No one can see the horror that is creeping through the jungle, about to unleash hell. It's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's. This is the first action we are playing with my pirate crew, Sir Pelham Cargew's men, attacking a plantation on the island of Guadeloupe. French plantation at a tiny little plantation area, an army camp called St. Anne's, which in modern times is a large town. On the roof in front of you, you can see three little shiny stony things. I threw a d6 to see how many moves of darkness existed before dawn, and I got a 6. But then I threw for the phases of the moon, and the one told me that there is no moon, it's pitch black. So my pirates have had to advance through the dark and through a jungle. So it's taken them quite a while to get to where they are. Coincidentally, thrown at random, there was a slave girl in the jungle. She was about to go and clean out the middens. She came across the pirates, but simply gave them a cheeky wink and walks away, whistling nonchalantly. The pirates have a plan. The pirates, Sir Pelham has sent his best troops to attack the church. They are the pirate crew. They are leadership of 5, which means the only way they can fail on any action is to get a 6. And the way I do leadership is to throw an average dice. If it's a B class unit, I +1. C class unit, I don't add anything. D class unit, I -1. A class troops are all characters, so they get what they get. Some are 2s, some are 5s. If you throw a natural 5, you throw a D6. If you get a 6, you become a hero. And a hero is incredible because they never fail anything. So, the pirates have been sent to attack the church. The idea is that the pirates cross the wall into the graveyard. Those with muskets take up positions around the gravestones and the trees and hide in ambush, because that's one of their special skills. The ones with pistols and cutlasses are going to burst into the door, opening fire and generally causing mayhem, seeing what loot they can take or prisoners, and that will be the official start of the game, which then becomes, for this game, a card-based game where cards are turned, and for each card turned a d6 is thrown, and a 6 results in a random event, about a third of which are good, a third of which are neutral and silly, and a third of which are bad. Sir Pelham's ship, the Black Dog, is at anchor in the bay, and he towed along with him 4 skiffs and rowing boats, sort of lifeboat sized things, and they have brought the crew ashore. So the pirates came ashore with one. In front of you, what you can see are the worst of the worst, the scum-y rabble, the horrible. They are free to use, they don't cost you anything, but their leadership, I threw a 2, which is awful. They do have 2 characters with them. They have King Mosquito, and they have a slaver whose name escapes me. Well, I'll remember a bit. I should have written on his base and I haven't. Their job, dead simple, because they've got no leadership, they're horrible, is simply to rush the governor's house, the plantation owner's house, and doubtlessly they're going to kill everybody regardless of what orders I give, and we'll see what happens. So I'm not expecting great things from them. These chaps are the crew. They're the B-class crew. They were originally in the navy of Charles II, James II, under Prince Rupert and the Duke of Monmouth. And during the Monmouth Rebellion, they sided with Monmouth because Pelham Cardew sided with Monmouth, and they were his crew. When Monmouth was defeated to escape the bloody assizes and Judge Jeffreys, they fled to the West Indies, which is where they met people like Anne, Mary and odd other characters to form this pirate band on the run. Their overall strategy is not to annoy the English. Yeah, so my theory is they don't want to offend the English. They could do without too many problems there. Their first raid was against a French plantation where they took a lot of slaves. So their ultimate strategy, because they're a small crew and they're on a hidden base on an island, is to rescue slaves. So Pelham, he hates slavery. Grr. So he's going to rescue slaves. If they're any good, he's going to have them in his crew. If they're not, he's going to release them into the jungle of the island he has his base on. And hopefully they will form some maroon band of renegade fighters who will protect the island and the flanks and the rear of his base. And they'll develop a relationship where it should be mutual beneficial. That's the theory. How that pans out, I don't know. So because he attacked the French, I didn't know whether to keep attacking the French, attack the Spanish, attack the Dutch, attack the Portuguese. I'm not attacking the English. So I thought the best thing to do might be to keep annoying the French. If this raid was against the Spanish, then I'd have the French and the Spanish annoyed at me. And then if I raided the Portuguese, I'd have them at me. And then the Dutch, I'd have nowhere to go. So I'm going to keep raiding the French and annoying the French until they become so annoyed that it's practical for me to leave them alone and attack somebody else. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll watch this space. I just thought it might be interesting to have an oversight of the plantation. So if you can see on the left, you can see the corner of St Anne's Church with a gravestone. Next to it is the plantation, which has been harvested. The troops at the end ignore those. They are French regulars. They have a card as an event, and they're only going to come on if and when that card appears. And then a D6 will determine where they appear. So I've put them on there so I know where they are when I need them, but they aren't really there. This is the slave village, slave quarters. There's a soldier just keeping a weather eye on them, and a young lady looking after pigs. There's quite a few rats kicking about if you have a look. And generally speaking, it's not nice. It's grim and dodgy, and you wouldn't want to be there. But Sir Pelham will sort that out for them, not to worry. In the centre of the village is the overseer's house, which optimistically also has a gallows quite close. So I thought that might be nice for him, and I'm gonna give him a bell. So if it all goes wrong, somebody can ring the bell and that will summon help as well. And the overseer's various assistants, accountants, concubines are in his house. I've placed men, women, children at random around the place, and they'll react when their cards come out. In reality, they're probably all in bed, but I just find it too complicated to have lots and lots of figures that are not on the board that are eventually going to be. And this is the processing centre. Initially I was thinking sugar beet, but then looking at some of the heaps of leaves I've got, I'm beginning to wonder if it might be better being tobacco. But I went for, that's why I ended up on Guadeloupe, because I was researching places that had different crops and which countries occupied them, and the French seem to produce a lot of sugar in Guadeloupe, so that's why I came to St Anne's. So I suppose I should say it's sugar, really. Over time I'll improve the scenery. I've ordered some parrots. And some chameleons and some assorted reptiles. Big monitor lizards and a tortoise. Or all sorts of stuff coming. So over time, I'm sure, like mangrove swamps we were talking about, and I've definitely seen people who are making really nice plantation things. And I was also looking at the types of animals that they would have had generally, and common sense, I suppose. They had the sorts of animals that you would have found in the West. Goats, sheep, pigs, dogs, cats, cows, horses, whatever they brought with them in the 17th, 16th century. So I'm going to have to dig out. I'm going to have all my farm and domestic animals in a box, and all of my more wild animals. Wild? He was livid, in a different box. What I wanted to do was just give you a quick oversight of the game, because I realise that's been quite long, and I don't want to add that to the next video, which will be the game and how that pans out, to let you see. So for now, I hope that's been informative, and I hope it's been nice seeing the plantation. Certainly been lovely seeing you, and what better way to celebrate cold and wet December running up to Christmas than with a game in the Caribbean. Ha ha! Ta-ra, Chuck.